More! 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 Give me more, Austin! Give me more! I want more Adam Driver!
That's right, guys. We almost got more of Adam Driver in Disney's Star Wars. Now, this article just came out from Deadline. Adam Driver did a pretty interesting interview where he was saying that there was a sequel planned after The Rise of Skywalker where Ben Solo was going to be revived and come back. So let's take a look at this, Ty, see what Adam Driver had to say. This is just one in several articles lately of Disney Star Wars sequel people, actors, coming out and saying things about the sequels that we didn't know previously. So this is pretty interesting. So Adam Driver says Disney shot down Ben Solo's Star Wars sequel film, despite Lucasfilm saying they love the idea. Now let's get down to the meat of it. So as you guys know, Ben Solo turned into Kylo Ren in the sequels after The Rise of Skywalker. He had passed away. He sacrificed himself for Daisy Ridley's character Rey. And he was saying that he thought that there was unfinished business, so he had an idea for a sequel. He said, I was always interested in doing another Star Wars. I had been talking about doing another one since 2021. Kathleen Kennedy had reached out. I always said, with a great director and a great story, I'd be there in a second. I love that character and love playing him. And then he further said, he detailed a concept for the film, which Steven Soderbergh, who is one of the directors, a writer, Steven Soderbergh wrote the script for which the actor says was one of the coolest scripts that had ever been a part of. And he said, we presented the script to Lucasfilm. They loved the idea. They totally understood our angle and why we were doing it. We took it to Bob Iger and Alan Bergman, and they said no. They didn't see how Ben Solo was alive, and that was that. The film was tentatively titled The Hunt for Ben Solo, with Driver adding, but it is no more, so I can finally talk about it. And Soderbergh said that he really enjoyed making the movie. In my head, I'm just sorry fans won't get to see it. So Ty, what do you think of this news? This is pretty crazy.
Yeah, so we would have got The Hunt for Gollum and The Hunt for Ben Solo. Man,
love it.
I would have loved it. No, actually, so it's comical to me that they said that they just don't see how he's alive when somehow Palpatine survived. Somehow Palps returned. So for an organization, an entity like Disney, to say anybody is not easily resurrected for the right amount of money, that doesn't make sense to me. It sounds like smoke and mirrors to me, because I thought that although the sequel trilogy, in my opinion, was abysmal, the character of Kylo Ren himself was an interesting character. And Kylo Ren, played by Adam Driver, I thought was probably one of the best parts of the sequel trilogy. And it honestly could have been much better if they would have taken him in a different route. But let's just say, since they took him in the route they did, he had the redemption arc. I read somewhere where they said that they were going to base it a lot off of Empire Strikes Back, and that it basically got a lot of its legs from that storyline. So if you're going back to the original trilogy and getting your story from something like that, that gets me excited. And then if you add Adam Driver, who is, in my opinion, a pretty good actor, to reprise his role, but now he's this redeemed character, and he's probably going to have to go take out remnants of the Knights of Ren, and he's probably going to be searching for something. He might end up with, finding Rey again. Who knows? That the dyad will probably have a play in it again. So they could have gone in a bunch of different directions, but it would have been awesome to get back to the roots of Star Wars with a new character that's a nuanced character like Adam Driver. I'm sure that he's probably would be dealing with a lot of guilt because, he literally killed his father and then his mother dies. And so now he's essentially an orphan. And he had, turned to the dark side, turned back to the good side. It's like, you don't get to see characters that turn bad, turn back good, and stay alive. Like, obviously Darth Vader turned back to the light at the end, but then he, died, which we all think was the best ending for him because it would have been weird if he survived. Yeah. After all that he had done, So it's a very interesting. I really wish that we could have seen this come to light. I would have paid money to go see it.
Yeah, no, I would have too. I think what's interesting is It's funny that Disney. Well, I don't know why Disney was hung up on the fact that why is he alive when like their entire company is based off of magic and bringing things back. Like how many times have they brought back characters in any franchise that Disney's ever done? I would have actually believed them bringing back Ben more than Palpatine, because at least they probably would have given some type of explanation if Adam Driver was interested in it. I mean, obviously they would have used Rey, so we would have had Rey. The dyad would have been connected. All the people who were fans of Rey and Ben being together would have been happy, whatever. But I mean, this would have been so much cooler seeing his journey compared to Rey's, especially because he is actually a bloodline of the Skywalkers. And I mean, even though, like you said, the sequels, in my opinion, were terrible, you would have Force Ghost Luke probably talking to his grandson after he was the one that was scared of him turning to the dark side and all that kind of stuff. You would have had some of that reconciliation there and would have provided some interesting takes there. And at least the Skywalker bloodline would have continued. Now we got somebody who's just masquerading as a Skywalker. So this is a missed opportunity, in my opinion. Adam Driver was the best actor in the sequels, and to have him go to Disney, Lucasfilm, and be like, hey, this is an idea and it's freaking awesome, and Lucasfilm liked it. I'm going to give Kathleen Kennedy credit here. She actually liked the script and wanted to push it out, and Bob Iger was the one that said no. So it starts opening up these questions of, how much is Kathleen Kennedy actually to blame for, or how much is Disney actually to blame for? Because if Bob Iger's just over here saying, hey, I don't like that idea, even though Kathleen might like it, it opens up an interesting dynamic there, and an interesting question of who is actually the one to blame over at Disney as a whole. So I think this is a huge missed opportunity.
Yeah, it is a missed opportunity, but it also makes me wonder, why is Adam Driver waiting till now to come out and say this? It almost makes me think like he's thinking, all right, Kathleen Kennedy's on her way out. Bob Iger's not going to be around forever. Maybe whoever the next exec is, or maybe Favreau Filoni might say, I think I do like the idea of this. Maybe if he gets enough people crying out for something like this, then maybe all of a sudden it gets greenlit. Yeah. So I think maybe this was a way of him trying to get it out to the masses to try to give this thing legs. I could be completely wrong, but it just makes you think maybe this is what he was thinking about.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've seen, since this news has come out, the internet has blown up. I haven't seen, whether you hate the sequels or not, people think this is an interesting idea. And it just further shows that, like, hey, there's all these ideas floating around that aren't being put to legs. Like, these things are, why are we getting this other stuff like Acolyte, but we're not getting this? Like, at least it would push forward the future of Star Wars that they had already set up, versus some of these other things that they're just trash as well. Adam Driver's not the only sequel actor that has made comments about the sequels. John Boyega's one recently that said it as well. Daisy Ridley's made comments in the past. Mark Hamill has obviously been vocal about his disdain about the Luke Skywalker character progression and that kind of thing. So, I mean, a lot of stuff is coming out now of just showing how disjointed the sequels were and the plans for it and the lack of vision, essentially, for what they wanted to do. So I hope that Lucasfilm and Disney specifically is listening to these people and listening to what the fans are responding to with news like this.
Yeah, I mean, so just imagine this, okay? So Ben comes back, right? And the Knights of Ren are trying to hunt him down. So maybe that's the hunt for, Ben Solo, is that they're trying to hunt him down. The remnants of the bad guys are trying to hunt Ben Solo down. And imagine him getting to speak to Force Ghost Anakin. Hayden Christensen's back. He's back in the fold. So imagine him, wishing to speak to Darth Vader all this time when he was Kylo Ren. He's like, speak to me, grandfather, speak to me, grandfather. But then his grandfather actually does come and speak to him. And imagine a room where you get Hayden Christensen as a redeemed, Anakin. And then you get Luke Skywalker in the same room as Ben Solo. So you get you get 3 generations of Skywalkers all redeemed, having a conversation. That could be a really cool thing. So I don't know. I would pay to see that.
Yeah, I mean, of course we'd want that. I mean, that has remnants of the expanded universe. I mean, yeah, we got Kylo, but Kylo was basically just a reflection of what Jason and Jannah were the Solo twins from the expanded universe. I mean, there's hints of Jason in Kylo in the way that they portrayed him, from someone who was good who turned bad. And so to have something like that with, like you said, with 3 generations of Skywalkers, and then Ben goes off and possibly has his own offspring, you can continue the Skywalker story. Yeah, the sequels were a mess and they messed it up, and they can't change it at this point, but you could at least push forward with something decent with a solid actor, rather than being like, we're going to cancel that. Oh, Ryan Gosling's over here. That's a cool actor that's doing really great right now. Let's pull him in and make him a nobody. Like, it's just stupid decisions that are being made. I would love to see, we've talked about this before, the honoring of the legacy of these characters. That's what people want. They want honor and respect and hope to know that this franchise is going to move forward. And we're obviously not getting that, because even George Lucas lately said, I've moved on. I don't care about this anymore.
Let the past die. We don't want more. We want more crap, Disney. Feed us all the crap. Anyways, guys, that's enough on this conversation. Let us know in the comments what you think. Do you agree with what we're saying? Do you disagree? Would you have loved to see Kylo Ren, redeemed Ben Solo, back on the big screen? And stay tuned, because we're going to be talking about more Star Wars in the near future. So until then, we are Fandom Fix, signing off.
See ya.